While going through some foreign recipe videos on YouTube, I stumbled across this delicious treat, and I've adapted it for my own. So if you're looking for an alternative to plain old French toast, I've got the perfect solution for you here. This is my banana custard French toast. Delicious for breakfast, snack, or even dessert. And only a few ingredients and a little bit of time, and you've got yourself a treat that you're really gonna enjoy. So if you'd like to see how this is done, stick around because it's coming up next. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Roy. I'm a home cook and amateur baker, and I'm here on this channel sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. Now today is one of mine, but I got the idea from watching some YouTube videos from other countries. I've gotten quite a few of my recipes that I've adapted from foreign videos. They do some interesting things, so I like to check out and see what they're doing. I came up with my German apple cake that way, also my berries and cream cake. And this one is not a dessert, but it's a breakfast or a snack, or you could probably do it for dessert as well. I enjoy it any of those times. What I'm gonna be making today is my banana custard French toast. Now, before you say, I don't like bananas, I can't have bananas, you don't have to use bananas. You can use any fruit you want. You could use strawberries, blueberries, what have you. I've done it with bananas and pineapple, so you can change up the fruit. It doesn't have to be banana, but that was the way I initially saw it, and I really do enjoy it. Now this is only going to make one serving, so if you're feeding more than that, you will just have to double things up. But it's easy, so simple, but it is a little different than you may be used to. So let's go over the ingredients. I have here my cooking spray. Of course, you know, cooking spray is a necessity around here. Here I have 2 slices of light bread. I am using the Sara Lee Delightful 45. Any bread that you use is fine. It may alter the bites and points depending on what you're using, but it shouldn't drift too far away from what I'm gonna get if you're using a low-calorie bread. Here I have 2 eggs, and those are at room temperature, but they don't necessarily have to be. I just do like having them out for a few minutes before to let them get a little of that chill off. They're easier to break up that way. Here I have 2 tablespoons of almond milk, and you could use oat milk, skim milk, whatever kind of milk you use. Here I have 1 tablespoon of sugar replacement, and I use the all-purpose in the raw. I've mentioned this before, but I still do get questions on occasion. But whatever kind of sweetener you use is fine. Here I have 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and that's going to give our custard a nice vanilla hint in the background. And here I have a small banana. This is about 6 ounces with the peel on, so it's probably about 5 or so with the peel off. You just need a small one. If you have a larger one and that's all you have, fine. You can just eat the rest of the banana as a snack, serve it on the side, or whatever you feel like doing with it. All right, so those are all of the ingredients that we're gonna need. Let me shuffle a few things around and we will get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just whip up our custard. I'm just using a fork. I am putting it into a small measuring cup, a 2-cup measuring cup, because you're going to want to pour this in. It's not that we're soaking the bread like you would with typical French toast. So I do want something that can help me to pour more easily. But just like any French toast, it's basically the same ingredients: the eggs, almond milk, sugar replacement, and vanilla. Then we're just going to whisk that up. You just want to break everything up, get one homogeneous mixture in here, just until it all comes together, and that's fine. I'm going to set this off to the side, and while I'm over here, I'm going to start heating up my skillet. It's going to go over medium, and while we're doing that, we are going to get our bread and bananas fixed up. Now I'll start with the bread here, and what we're going to do is we are going to actually cut out the center of this. We're basically going to be making a frame out of each of these pieces of bread. So you just want to get close to the crust, but not too close that you break it. But you just want to get in there and cut out the interior of the bread and leave just a little border there, almost like a frame for a picture. And because a lot of these low-cal breads are softer, you do want to be a little careful not to crush it, but then we're just going to pop out that center and set that aside. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. All right, so I have my bread cut out. That's what we want with that. So I'm going to just put that back onto the plate for now as I work on the banana. And what we're going to do here is usually I can fit about 9 slices into each of those holes, the frames. So that is what I'm going to aim for, cutting this into 18 pieces. And I will start by cutting it approximately in half. And then each of those I'm going to cut 8 times to make 9 slices, if that makes sense. If you go through 9 times, you're actually going to get 10 slices. And you just want them maybe about a ½ inch thick. And there's one. I'm going to get this one done. All right, so both bananas are cut into slices. I have my skillet heating over medium heat. And one thing I did want to mention, you want to make sure you have a spatula that is big enough to go under the entire piece of French toast. Because I've emptied out the center, it is not going to be as stable as usual. But we are going to cook the custard enough to hopefully firm it up before we flip it. But I have had issues where I flipped it and it broke apart. Still delicious, but hopefully that doesn't happen today. So I have my long spatula here, and I'm going to spray the skillet with some cooking spray, get that coated. Bring in the bread, and I'm going to remove the centers for now, and we're going to place the 2 frames into the pan. Then we're going to line the interior with our bananas. The bread size will make a difference here, because sometimes I can get 9 in there. This time I could get 6 easily, but then I just put the rest on top, and I'm going to get the other one going. All right, so we have that in there with our bananas. I'm going to just beat our custard mixture a little bit, and then I'm going to slowly pour it into each of our frames. I want to do it slowly so it doesn't start to seep out underneath, because if you pour it too quickly, it won't have time to set and it will start bleeding out the edges like that, because I had a little spasm. Fill each of these, and if some of it bleeds out, it's not that big of a deal. You just want to get it mostly filled in there, and then I'll just take, if some of it seeps out like this, I'll just take that and throw that back over onto our bread here. Then we're going to take the interior pieces and just lay those on top, kind of like the backing of our frame. We're going to take the rest of our custard and we're going to pour that over that bread so that we get some of that custard on the bread to make this more like French toast. So just get all of that out onto the bread. It doesn't have to be precisely covered. That's not that big of a deal. Then just check, like here we have some egg seeping out again, so I'm just going to fold that up and get that in there. And now we want this to set up, because as I said, without the center of the bread, this is going to be a little flimsy to try to turn. So we want to make sure those eggs are set. That usually takes about 3 minutes, but I will check and see how much color we're getting on them before I flip them. All right, so we're getting a lot of color on that side. So now you want to try to carefully get your spatula underneath and then flip it. No problem this time. I have had problems before, as I've said, because I didn't have a big enough spatula at the time. And now we're just going to cook it on this side for about another 2 minutes to get that side set. So we'll have a nice firm custard in here. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes. I checked the color on the other side and it looks great. So now I'm just going to transfer this to my plate and we're done. That's all there is to it. Turn off the heat here, and there you have it. Banana custard French toast, or as I said, you could choose other fruits if you prefer. Now, as I said, this makes a great breakfast, obviously, but also a great snack, which is how I'm going to be having it today. Or you can even whip it up for dessert. If you're home alone, you want a quick little dessert, this would be perfect. But that's all there is to making my banana custard French toast, or anything custard. You could do blueberry custard, strawberry custard, you could probably even do peach. The sky's the limit. You do what you enjoy. That's what's going to get you through this weight loss journey, is having things that you enjoy, not sticking to what I say I'm doing, because if you don't like something, change it up. But there's no way you're not going to like these, no matter what fruit you put in there. So that was it, quick and easy. But what about those nutrition facts? Well, for the two of these right here, it is only going to be 3 Better Balance Bites or Old Blue Points. As you probably know, I'm on the Healthy Better Balance plan, which is equivalent to the old WW Blue plan, which is around where their current plan is. But if you are following calories, the calories for 1 serving of this, which is 2 pieces of French toast, is 408. And if you are following macros, the fat is 12.7 grams. Saturated fat is 3.4 grams. Protein is 19.6 grams. Carbs are 70.4 grams. Between the bread and the bananas, you're getting a lot of carbs in here. Fiber is 9.4 grams. And sugars are 23.4 grams. Again, mostly from the banana. But that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed this recipe and this video. And if you did, I'd appreciate you doing the usual: like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell for the next time I upload any sort of video. Speaking of being around for videos, if you are here tomorrow, Saturday at 2 p.m., I've been doing lives every Saturday at 2 p.m. to do a weigh-in update and have a topic that we can discuss. So if you'd like to join us, that is 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays. But if you want the recipe for this, I'm going to be linking directly to this recipe down below. Also down there is the link to the blog itself if you're looking for any of my recipes. Speaking of recipes, if you are looking for my cookbook, the link for that can be found down in the description box as well. But that works for the US Amazon. If you are in another country, then you would just search recipes with Roy Cookbook. I know Australia, for some reason, has been having difficulty getting it. It's supposed to be available everywhere. I don't know why there's an issue. But I know a few people who have skirted around that by having someone in the UK or some other country order it for them. So that's another great way to get it. Also down there are the links to my 2 stores. I have my 4th wall store, which is where you can get this embroidered apron. I also have my Zazzle store, which has a bit more variety. They have planners, they have ornaments even, they have t-shirts. They also have a calendar for 2025, which is still a little early yet, but that will be coming up towards the end of the year that you'll want a calendar, so think about having that one. Those calendars are adapted to whatever region. You select the region, you select what holidays you want on it. It's very interesting how they do that over there at Zazzle. Also down in the description box is my Amazon storefront. If I've used anything on this channel that you're interested in finding, it could be there. Also down there is my social media, of course, my Instagram and a few Facebook groups that I'm part of. So check out that description box for all sorts of information. And now I'm gonna syrup these up and get ready for a delicious snack. And I hope you'll be doing the same yourself very soon. So until next time, bye.